Hi everyone! I was just about to prepare some sweet potatoes like I do about once a week, and I thought I would share how I do it. So I've got 4 about medium-sized sweet potatoes here. You could also do, or I guess they're technically yams, so the ones that are orange inside. You can also do this with sweet potato. It works pretty well. But I like to use yams because they have a nice natural sugar in them that caramelizes really nicely when you throw them in the oven. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take this guy and I'm just going to scrub it off. Just plain water and just a regular old kitchen sponge, right? So give it a little scrub just to get the dirt off of it, and then I dry it off a little bit. So I scrubbed this guy down, dried it off. Now I have my knife, and I'm just going to slice off the end. That part is really fibrous, and it's not delicious to eat, so you want to make sure that it's off before you cook it. You can also just throw them, when I'm feeling lazy, I just wrap this in foil, throw it in the oven, and just bake it with the ends on. No big deal. You'll just pull the ends off afterwards. Cool? Next step is to take some aluminum foil, and we're going to wrap this guy up in aluminum foil. Crunch it down on the ends, super simple. That goes onto my cookie sheet, and I'm going to do all 4 of my sweet potatoes that way. Okay, so I have all 4 of my sweet potatoes washed, dried, with the ends cut off, and wrapped in foil, and I just put them on a cookie sheet. You can put them in any sort of pan. It doesn't matter. What this does is it just catches the sugar what's going to happen is the sugar is going to caramelize in this. It's going to bubble out of the sweet potato, and if you don't have something under it, it's going to drip straight into your oven, and it's going to burn, and so you'll have smoke filling your kitchen, and the fire alarm will go off, and all these exciting things will happen. So we don't want those to happen. So wrap in foil, put on a baking sheet, and this is going into the oven at 425. You can also put it at 450. My oven does this thing where when it's at 450, the smoke alarm goes off no matter what we do. So we do it at 425. All right, it's been about an hour and a half, I believe, since I popped these puppies in the oven. So I'm going to pull them out now and show you what they look like and how I know that they're done. Okay, so the first clue is I can smell. I was sitting in the living room and I could smell the caramelization that was happening. Okay, so second clue is you can actually see here, and you see that how all the sugar has caramelized? That is the good stuff, right? So that's just without adding any sugar. Set that down. Without adding any sugar, without adding anything that is going to add calories or, anything refined in it. We're just capitalizing on the sugar that's already in the yam, caramelizing it so it's nice and sweet, and it's going to be so, so good. So that's how you know when to pull them out of the oven. It depends on the size of the yam and how ripe it was and all of the things. So I just leave it in there in the oven until I see that caramelization and that browning starting to drip out of it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let those cool until I can handle them, and then I'll show you what I do after that. Okay, so these sweet potatoes have cooled down now enough that I can handle them without burning myself. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and unwrap them, and I'm going to show you how I prep them and store them for the entire week. So we already ate one for lunch because when they come out hot and piping from the oven, they're so, so good. So we went ahead and just cut one in half, peeled it, and threw a little grass-fed butter on it, and it was so good. But now what I'm doing is I am going to mash up everything that's left, and I'm going to store it in single serving size containers. So I just peeled the foil off of it, and now after the baking in the oven, the peel just peels right off so, so easy, okay? And I'm throwing each of those into this big bowl. Of course, I washed my hands before I started. Just peeling that peel off, and especially since we already cut off all the really fibrous ends, this peel comes off really, really easy. Okay, so I have my sweet potatoes. They're peeled, they're roasted, they're sweet and beautiful. It actually kind of smells like candy right now. I'm just going to use a regular old potato masher, and I'm going to just mash these guys up real quick. They don't need much because they're already really, really soft from being roasted. But it's enough to kind of break up any chunks that might be left and to mix all 3 of them together. Super simple. So we got this beautiful mash. And from there, I just store them exactly how they are without any flavorings or anything in single serving containers. So one serving of sweet potatoes is about 4 ounces, or about half a cup. That's one yellow container if you're following the 21-day fix plan. And I have these little Rubbermaid Tupperware things that are just about that exact size. So I just scoop a little right into this container until it's full. This little guy gets a lid on it, goes into the fridge or the freezer, and I've got sweet potatoes and my yellow containers for the rest of the week. When I'm preparing this for an actual meal, I'll take this and just dump it out on a plate, microwave it for 2.5 minutes, and throw a little coconut oil and some salt on it, or a little, about a teaspoon of grass-fed butter. You could add cinnamon nutmeg to it to make it a sweet thing. You can add some garlic salt to it to make it savory. There's so much that you can do with these, and it's just so nice to have them already cooked, ready to go, and it just makes it really, really convenient to get my carbs, my healthy carbs, and to get my yellow containers on the fix. So that's it, you guys. So simple, but I do this once a week, and I've always got these little containers of sweet potatoes in the fridge, easy to grab and go. That's it. I hope you're having a great day.